Ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome to you all. We're excited to bring you the second session of the Fireside Chat tech series. We all know no industry is immune to disruption. Banks experience disruption, or you can call it strategic inflection point during internet revolution. So retail experienced it twice, once because of Walmart and now because of Amazon. Healthcare, we all know, has been experiencing it because of artificial intelligence. World has experienced three major industrial revolutions till now, and now digital is called the fourth industrial revolution. So this all happened over the period of 300 years, which also means that these disruptions are once a lifetime opportunity for us to experience, isn't it? So we all should be excited to be a part of it and also to be called as change makers. So digital is impacting businesses. Right? Disruption is an event that changes the way we think and act. If businesses adapt, they succeed, else they perish. So digital actually disrupted even those businesses which we never thought would be encountering an inflection point. For example, taxi business in India for 50 years, they were quite stable. It was impacted heavily by Uber. According to me, Uber is a technology company, not a taxi company, right? It is a digital company. With this background, we have chosen today's topic as insurance business is a digital business. We are glad to collaborate for this with our partner Interactive Group. With a solid experience of over 36 years in IT, telecom, enterprise productivity solutions and IoT, Interactive Group has been pioneering in digital transformation initiatives across public and private sectors, primarily in the Middle East, and as an MSI in Europe and Southeast Asia. This session will explore how insurance business is reimagining its value chain to deliver differential experience to support new business models and customer needs. Insurance industry is surely disrupted. To discuss in detail on this topic of digital insurance and its future, we have experts joining us who have been in the industry for a long time and who have done it. Please join me in welcoming our speakers for today. Our first speaker is Adam Solomon, is the CIO of Mutual Benefit Group. At Mutual Benefit Group, Adam is tasked with providing strong, innovative and collaborative leadership to create a skilled information systems team. It is a team that supports a technology culture of collaboration and creativity focused on delivering and meeting customer expectations. As CIO, he provides overall management of applications portfolio, data management, enterprise architecture, project delivery, and quality assurance functions to attain company-wide objectives. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Management and Information Systems from San Diego State University, San Diego, California. Adam has dedicated his career to the field of information technology. Warm welcome to you, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
So we have with us Harsh Singla, VP Technology and Innovation Integrity Marketing Group. Harsh is a futuristic thought leader who is passionate about technology to solve business needs. He has over 15 years of experience leading technology teams and delivering multi-million-dollar digital modernization and transformation initiatives. He has a proven record of building high-performing, engaged teams and implementing highly scalable technology solutions. As part of Integrity's marketing group's leadership team, Harsh is responsible for all technology operations and initiatives. Prior to joining Integrity, Harsh was with Transamerica, leading technology teams focused on life annuities and retirement platforms. Harsh has MBA degree from Iowa and Bachelor of Engineering from India. He and his family live in Allen, Texas. Warm welcome to you, Harsh. So for audience,
thank you, Srinivas. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure. For audience, please post if you have any questions in the Q&A section. We shall take up your questions in the later part of the session. So now moving on to questions. So we all know that insurance industry was already going through a digital transformation, and now COVID-19 crisis is hitting the insurance industry. There's quite a bit of buzz. There's quite a bit of talk and a lot of challenges that the insurance industry is facing. So my question to both Adam and Harsh, I'll go with Adam first. How has the pandemic fundamentally changed the nature of insurance business in your opinion?
Well, for us, I mean, being a a traditional property and casualty insurance organization, the pandemic, fundamentally the biggest challenge was really around on commercial lines, right, and claims coverage, right? What was covered in verbiage, right, in claims coverage for businesses, and we saw a lot of court cases, right, that went and around types of verbiage within that legal piece and what was covered. A lot of them were not covered, right? The virus protections and things like that weren't really stated as such. So, from that perspective, that was one of the things that we really saw a lot of on the claims side. Obviously, also on the claims side, we saw a lot of reduction in claim submission,
Yep.
Right, as businesses were shut down and those types of things. So that was the biggest side. On the personal line side, just like most insurance organizations, we provided a refund. People weren't driving, they weren't using their vehicles, and we went through that process and provided that refund to people. And I think that was an expectation, right, that the pandemic drove for a lot of insurance organizations. And then, internally, there was a lot of changes for us that it drove too. We had to get people home, right, to work home. We weren't really a work remote type organization, and we were able to get people home quickly. So internally, the pandemic changed our insurance business and how people work digitally, just from an internal business process perspective. And as you typically see, people become pretty innovative and creative when they have to, and start to use a lot of the digital tools that you provide them, but they become self-service tools where they figure some things out. So fundamentally, those are the areas from my perspective.
Fantastic. I liked both points. One is the virus protection. So even we were taken by surprise with the virus protection clause in our insurance. So I think the world kind of realized that virus protection is important. And also the statement that you made, people become innovative and creative when they have to. So wonderful statement. Thanks a lot for your insights on that. Harsh,
Yeah.
I'd like to go with you on this question.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it goes without saying that most industries have been impacted in some way by COVID, right? So I would even venture to guess that most were negatively impacted. At the same time, I believe that innovation always springs from crisis. Like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. There have been many new products and industry that have spawned as a result. So if I told you 2 years ago that I was thinking of developing a luxury mask in company, you'd have said, "Hey, are you crazy?" Right? But it happened, and a lot of companies were innovative and got into that business. So we at Integrity Marketing Group, we are a platform company for life, health, and wealth insurance marketing industry. Majority of our sales come from actually selling face to face. We have 370,000 agent workforce that work for us, and they sell insurance for major companies like Aetna, Humana, United Healthcare, IRA products, annuities. We are also a fast-paced merger and acquisition machine. We acquire companies in the same industry of insurance and wealth management marketing. Historically speaking, like I said, we had relied on tried and tested methods of face-to-face sales facilitated by agents. So our product is not anything tangible, right? So it's like a piece of paper that promised consumers that we will take care of them when they need us. So it's a scary proposition for consumers to buy something that they don't see, right? They cannot feel it in their hand. And COVID changed it a lot. So our agents who are used to sell either on phone or on in person, we had to train them to quickly alter their approach and leverage methods like, okay, FaceTime video, conference calls, and socially distant chairs in the yard. So it was a lot of innovative people came up with ideas on how we want to do that. We didn't want to settle there in just training our workforce, so we knew that this was going to be a major shift in the industry, and we needed to be on the forefront of that. So we quickly developed industry-leading agent portal that has been incredibly successful and a great impact on our agent sales. Uh, Even actually, I would say that even pre-COVID, we offered similar technologies to facilitate our agents to sell online and consumers to buy online, but adoption was too low. This COVID was somewhat of a catalyst for the positive change in our industry. It kind of jump-started the technology adoption, not just from our side, but also from our agents and consumers. And I'm proud of what our team was able to build in a short span of time and how successful it was. So, like Adam mentioned, people become creative and innovate, when they have to. So, COVID did that for us. So,
Fantastic. Thanks, Harsh. Yeah, I know we also heard about luxury masks and the amount of money these mask making companies or the top companies were making. Very interesting one. And also your point that agents would always say that we give a human touch, but suddenly they had to do a 180-degree turnaround in the way they were doing their business, of not having the human touch. So and still I think they did a fantastic job is what I heard. Thanks a
absolutely.
lot for your insights on that. So my next question to you is, this is for Adam. The new marketplaces, we were actually talking about these new marketplaces in the last 5-6 years when Progressive used telematics for usage-based insurance. So a lot of things were changing and insurance companies were becoming very creative, and there's digital companies, there's micro companies, there's so many companies coming up in the marketplace. So my question to you is, new market spaces have evolved and become a focus in the insurance market, either digital or micro. How are you scaling your technology portfolio to support these evolving business models?
So again, I mean, we're an agent-based property and casualty organization from that perspective, and pretty traditional. So we're always going to, provide those home, auto, commercial, commercial line type business insurance. But I think what we've really started to look at is and seen is just, again, how do we more digitally engage that population? And so, in our world, we're still, trying to get out of paper, right? Everything. We have an agent portal that, people can get to. We do a lot of, comparative rater type processing for quote and binding. And so everything is pretty digital, and it was digital, but it's now kind of wrapping that with a little bit more. But I do see in our world a little bit more of that bit size or on-demand insurance, coming, that micro type insurance, the cover my camera for this week when I'm on vacation, or on-demand type insurance. I do think is going to start to be coming. We're starting to hear a little bit about that from some of our agents, even though we still hear a lot of traditional coverage, that still needs to take place, especially on the commercial line side. It's hard to to do little bit size things, but I still think, you're going to we're starting to hear things, pay by mile, right? So different types of insurance that people want from a personal, personal line side. You have things, different types of coverage that I think we'll have to have and think about, as people are more Ubering and Lyft, and they drive their car less, or they ride share, right? And they want to have different coverages for different times, all these types of things. And so I suspect, we're going to continue to see more and more insurtech come up, more and more micro. But what I see is us partnering with them, those types of organizations, right, to kind of round out our services. And I think that's really where they're going. They're not necessarily, I mean, there's some that are obviously providing full coverage, but a lot of these, bit-sized or micro organizations are really about partnering with other organizations. I think telematics is still there. I think that is an interesting and still highly used, to help with from an insurance perspective. And then wearables, right, can start to come into play. You start thinking about that, probably harsh more from a health life insurance perspective than us, but how does that come into play with workers' compensation coverage and wearables and being healthy and getting back to work? All these things can kind of flood in and are starting to be talked about.
Fantastic. Couple of insights that you talked about, which I like. One is the ride share insurance. So this is a very interesting concept that you touched upon, where somebody has a personal vehicle but uses for commercial. So I'm sure the question would be whether to give personal insurance or commercial, or how do you really charge such one. So fantastic citation. And also the cover my camera for a week is also something quite interesting. So thanks for the insights on wearables also. So thanks a lot for that. So my next question, this is for Harsh. So Harsh, when we talk about insurance, first thing that comes to our mind is large legacy systems in usage. So we've been using mainframes, AS400 systems for quite a long time, and they still form a major part of many insurance companies' application or infrastructure portfolio, right? So how are you combining the existing investments made and powers offered by emerging techs to support evolving customer needs when you have such a disparate technology stack within your organization?
Yeah. So fortunately, unlike many other companies, we have very low tech debt. We have been very cognizant of the fact that we cannot have these big systems and then big mainframes. So, as I mentioned, we are in the we are a platform company where we are a fast-paced merger and acquisition machine also. Whenever we partner with any company and where we see the systems are like either mainframe or older, we invest right away in that company to start replacing that. So I would, we are lucky to be not having a lot of the technical debt that big major insurance companies have. But at the same time, that does not mean that the system that we have are ready for the digital transformation that insurance industry is going through right now, right? It just makes it a little easier for us to transform to the new ways of doing things. So we are building our systems and solutions, technical solutions, so that we can meet the customers where they want or where they are, right? If they want to meet us online, we are there online. If they want to meet us via phone call, we have call centers. If they want to meet us in person, we have a huge workforce where we can meet them in person. So we are trying to create a best-in-class, seamless, omni-channel consumer experience, right? So the idea is that anybody can come to us and say, hey, I started online, but I want to make a call. Some of the products are really complex, as you know, the health products can get really complex. So people need, okay, I tried everything online, I researched, I have the code, but I really want to talk to somebody who can guide me through, okay, out of these 5 options, what is my best option? So we're working on the streamlining that omni-channel. You can move from one channel to another, and you'll have a seamless experience. I think another thing that trend that I'm seeing, and we are following it in our industry, in our company also, is insurance industry is a data-driven company. Right? Data is the new gold now, and the companies who have figured out how to use that data to make the consumer experience better are coming out as winners. We as Integrity are investing heavily in data science and analytics to create the personalization and recommendation engine models. Again, it's again to going back to the same goal of having seamless customer experience. When they interact with us, they need to come out as, wow, I had a great experience. So that is a thought process that we have going into each and every technology we are building. So all the solutions we are building, they are API first, cloud-based, responsive, mobile friendly, and solutions like AI-powered virtual assistants, bots are key to engage the new tech-savvy generations. As Adam mentioned, IoT devices are becoming very popular to get the real-time feedback. These devices are not just for getting the data, real-time data, but also to get insights into consumer needs and preferences and behaviors. And then you can continue to evolve your products accordingly. So very excited to see how technology is actually, the new tech is transforming the industry, and how even the older legacy companies are embracing the technology to transform their companies.
Fantastic. Thanks. Very, very insightful information. One thing you mentioned is to become a best-in-class omni-channel experience, you have to move out of your legacy systems, and whenever you encounter such legacy systems, you're quickly replacing it with the next-gen technology stack. And you also mentioned that you're a data-driven company, which is fantastic. And also data is now new gold. You also talked about API first, cloud-based, AI-powered bots and IoT devices. Fantastic aspects of how insurance companies are transforming. Thanks for the insights, Harsh. So my next question is for Adam. Adam, can you talk a little bit of digital transformation that your organization is undergoing? Digital transformation is a big word in insurance industry in the last 5 years. So what does digital transformation mean to you? And at what pace is the program on the ground currently? And what have been some unique challenges that you had to face in this program?
Well, I'll start with, what does it mean to me, the digital transformation? It's starting to become kind of an overused word, I think, but again, in the simplest definition or answer to that is, really getting modern systems and processes, distributed internally and externally with as much automation, as possible, right? I mean, up and running and being responsive. But for us, I think we think about it a little bit, not differently, but there's more to it than just that straight definition, right? So for us, we actually are on a core system digital transformation. Unlike Harsh, we are a traditional insurance organization that has technical debt. We still use, an AS400 and those types of things because many insurance organizations, get stuck on those, right? And so we're currently kind of half baked toward a modern and an older system. So we actually are going through a true digital transformation, and the way we're looking at it is, we think about it as, a platform rationalization. So a single platform to support our core businesses and requirements. We look at a digital and engagement platform, right, that can support both our insureds and our agents. We want a platform that can participate, again, what we've been talking about in integrating to all these insurtechs and third-party vendors, and that bigger, wider ecosystem, right? So we have to have that. We want a platform for innovation, right? That can support all these, again, these insurtechs and wearables and RPA and different things. From an architectural perspective, we want to stay current, right? We want to stay current on new capabilities, advancements with less effort, right? So it has to be architected and supported that way. It should be configurable, right? We want to have a very configurable platform that we can react to customer needs and regulatory and compliance, because those things come into us a lot very quickly. We need to respond as quickly as we can. It's all about software as a service for us. So always staying current, secure, contractually committed, and having a vested partnership. We don't want to really have a client vendor relationship with our SaaS provider, but a partnership. And then going exactly what Harsh said, data is king right now, right? So you have to have all the data, advanced analytics, and BI capability. So for us, that kind of rounds out our digital transformation and what's needed. I wouldn't say what's something that's unique that we're facing, but everything I just went through is all technical. But I think the hardest part of a digital transformation is people. It's not really the technology as much as it can be. So organizational change management has been key. I don't think that's unique to us, but it's one of the biggest challenges we have. What's my job? What's it going to be? What will I have access to? How will I process these things? How will I work with my colleagues? Will it be the same? Will it be different? What will it look like? How fast will it be? Can I do it from anywhere? All of these things start swirling around when you start doing these digital transformations. So those are the biggest challenges that we face from that perspective. But everything we're doing, we're building to have those APIs in mind, those microservices in mind we talked about. So that's architected in that matter. And again, that comes back to what's challenging to organization change management and people. How will I interact with these third parties? I used to go get that. Now it's provided through the system. What does that mean to my job? So as most people say around doing a digital transformation, begin with the end. That's the way you communicate. That's what we're trying to do. So that's a little bit about our digital transformation at this point.
Fantastic. This was very, very, very insightful, especially the last few things that you mentioned. We always think that the technology is the most important aspect of digital transformation, but we forget that it's the people, the mindset, and the organization change management becomes the most important. And if you have all these things in place, technology can be the most easiest one for you to handle because you have people and organizations supporting you. Very well said. And also what you mentioned, begin with the end. So a fantastic insight into this. You also mentioned RPA, and you also mentioned what you need to have is a highly configurable application and also regulatory compliance. And to achieve all these things with the time that you have, you are working very closely with partners in software as a service mode. And the other best thing that you mentioned was you don't consider them as client vendor, but you treat them as your partners, which is a fantastic insight so that you all can achieve this together. So thanks for the great insight, Adam. So my next question is for Harsh. What do you expect will be the top 3 areas in the insurance value chain that businesses will focus on that will have the highest impact in terms of business and customer relation?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So before I answer that, I just want to add, Adam, this is a great saying. Begin with the end in mind, right? So I think if majority of the digital transformations fail not because of technology, honestly, they fail because of the change management, organization change management. So if everybody has that view of begin with end in mind, I think that's awesome. So thank you for the next question, Srini. So I think this $5 trillion global insurance market, right? I think it's in the midst of game-changing or correction, you can say, or redefining what is business as usual, right? The digital-first urgency is sweeping across landscape, driven by a new generation of customer data, automation, artificial intelligence. I think there are 3 trends that I'm seeing, and I've been part of some of those trends. Is like leveraging data, harnessing the power of data to automate or increase the efficiency, and in turn help the customers. So the three areas that I'm seeing is like on the life and health side is predictive underwriting. So gone are the days when people used to draw blood or have a physical test for getting a life insurance. Nowadays I can sit online, uh, answer a few questions, and I get a decision instantly. Not that insurance carriers are actually you know uh, taking the risk behind the scenes. They are actually working with huge sets of data, whether public or acquired data, and also buying data from these data companies. And they have predictive models running across the systems to say, is this a good risk to have, or what is our underwriting decision? So I've been lucky to be part of one of such initiative when I was working at my previous job. We were the first company 7 years ago to roll out predictive underwriting for life insurance. It was a huge success, and I see that they continue to have that success. So I think predictive modeling for the business processes and underwriting is the key area that I see. And then also artificial intelligence and machine learning based claims, right? So companies are using AI ML models to assess the claims. They pull data from various sources. They look at the data provided by the consumer based on the claims, and then they process this. Everybody, I think, in the insurance industry has heard about Lemonade, right? So they pioneered the artificial intelligence and machine learning based claims. On an average, their claim submission process just takes 3 minutes, and they make a decision in eight seconds, and then they wire the transfer to the consumers like instantly. So I think that is where the industry is going, and I think a lot of the companies are actually bigger insurance companies, insurance brokers, agencies, insurtech are actually looking forward to doing similar things. And like Adam mentioned, InsurTech, right? So they have been, InsurTech firms have been showing significant growth in the area of auto and home ownership and other insurance verticals too. Actually, this is stimulating traditional insurers to either acquire the technology capabilities or partner with the InsurTech companies. Like Adam mentioned, a lot of companies are actually partnering with InsurTech to say, hey, can I use their software as a service and enhance my consumer experience? So with the increasing demand of this innovative products and services from millennials, such collaboration will become critical. And it is already becoming critical. In future, it will be even more critical. And I think partnering with insurance tech companies, InsurTech startups, it's more win-win situation for everybody. Traditional insurance companies will benefit from faster results in establishing the tech culture. InsurTech companies will get better access to larger customer base, funding, and domain expertise. It will give rise to newer models and revenue streams. And I think overall, the end goal is consumer experience will be enhanced with the value-added offering. I think there are a lot of trends going on. I think these three are the main ones I see in the industry today.
Fantastic. Thanks for the insights, Harsh. Predictive underwriting. So that's a very interesting one. And also how AI and ML is helping insurance companies for claims. And we also see that it's not only helping for claims, it's also helping them for marketing, branding, and many other activities, supporting the frontline sales people as well. So and also the partnership. You also talked about partnerships with startups to make sure the initiatives are not started from ground zero, and you can accomplish everything in much lesser time. So thanks for your insights, Harsh and Adam. So we have few questions from audience that I would like to ask. So now that we talked about AI, I would like to ask this question on the similar lines that I've got. What is the impact of AI on the future of insurance, and what are the areas in which AI adoption has been the most in insurance? So Adam, do you have any insights that you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, from an impact perspective, impact of AI on the future, I think it's pretty large. I think what it really drives is that flexibility. And Harsh talked a little bit about it, right? At that omni-channel, right? It really allows for you to use different tools. So if people want, chatbots and things, and they want to do it without talking to people, then that's great. But you still have to have some of that traditional, face-to-face or telephony type interaction. Again, especially from our model being agent-based. We still have those traditional kind of models. I see a lot of adoption right now in, like I said, chatbots, but really I think it's in the claim, filing a claim and payment of a claim. Harsh talked about Lemonade and those types of things. I think that's where you see it a lot in the fraud protection area. That's just another area I think you see a lot of AI coming into play, and that's where it started. Obviously you see things, some robotic and RPA, the RPA side, the integrations with Alexa and Google and all those different, organizations to be able to share information and, in real time. But I would still say what I see the most in areas of AI right now in my area is really around the claims and the fraud space.
Fantastic. Thanks for the insights. So a couple of interesting points that you mentioned: fraud protection and even fraud detection. So some of the AI models that insurance companies using today was actually carried from banking system, because banking first implemented AI models for fraud and fraud detection and also protection. So insurance organizations are extending the same thing for their needs as well. It's a very interesting area. Thanks for bringing that up. We have one more interesting question. This is about millennials and Gen Z. Will soon be the biggest market for insurers. What will be the impact of these tech-savvy generations on the future of digital insurance? Harsh, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, happy to. So as we all know, millennials and Gen Zs are very tech savvy, right? So these generations are changing the face of insurance industry through their penchant for technology and social media. So stats say that on average, these generations spend 18 hours per day online, and they look at their cell phone or touch their cell phone at least 45 times each day. So I think it's high time that all the insurance companies, insurers, brokers, they realize that mobile first is the way to go. And then everybody wants instant results, right? Faster service. So 50% of the internet usage is on mobile devices these days, right? So I think most of the companies are targeting this segment for their future growth. I feel that there are some characteristics of this new generation that are looking for in the products, like digital touch points. Can I buy something on my phone, right? Can I talk with something or get an instant response on my phone? Can I text message somebody or WhatsApp somebody? Ease of use is the keyword here. Faster service, personalization. Longer the days, those are gone where one size fits all type insurance is, that's it's getting old now. Like Adam mentioned, everybody is talking about paying insurance by the mile, micro insurance. So it's all personalized to what I want or what my current situation asks me to do. And things will change again, like next week. And the seamless and omni-channel access that we talked about. So I think disruption in insurance and fintech is happening as we speak. Robinhood, Lemonade are the perfect examples of mobile first, ease to use, digital touch points, and they are focused really on millennials and Gen Z. and they are actually, I would say, they're market leaders in that now, and they've been very successful at that. So I think it's more about what consumers are looking for, and then if you're able to provide that in the technology solutions, I think it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Fantastic. Very, very nice answer. It is more like what consumers are looking for than what we have that we can offer to them. So very interesting citation. And also, as you said, one size fits all will not work. And they always want faster service and to what they want. Nice citations on that, Harsh. So we have a couple more questions. One is on data. So data is an important aspect of insurance business. So since we deal with data, right, data science or analytics. So how is the insurance industry handling this? So Adam, would you like to answer this question, please?
Well, like you said, data is king for us. We have put a lot of effort into, and will continue on the data piece. I mean, for us, that's what we do, right? I mean, we're really studying that data to understand the risk that we're underwriting. So, without that information, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard and difficult to do. The challenge now is, with us and all these, what we talked about, the third-party integrations. Now you have all this data coming in from other places too. So not just your core systems, right, and your traditional fashions, but now you have all this data coming in from these third parties that make up the full story. And also that really looking at some of the data around our the behaviors, right? In our case, if our agents are quoting and binding, what are they doing and what's their experience in collecting that data? And that all comes into it also. So, it's hugely important to us. And I think it's just going to be, it's just going to continue to be something in an area that the insurance organizations have to spend time on and continually get better at. And you're just going to have more, BI, and again, all this automation and AI, being built off this feature rich and data rich environment.
Fantastic, very nice citations again. Couple of things. You mentioned the data is king, and Harsh mentioned the data is gold. So I'm also itching to mention something about data. So I would like to pick the one that is known to everybody. Data is the new oil. So yeah, so and you also mentioned the third-party integrations specifically to behaviors and behavioral patterns that is now becoming part of insurance industry, which means that you also talk about how you are processing hyper-personalized data to meet your industry demands. It's a fantastic citation, which means that we are moving away from the world of IoT to the world of IOB, which is Internet of Behaviors, wherein we are taking IoT to the next level of not just collecting data in IoT databases, but also figuring out behaviors using AI and ML programs on top of data and making more sense for the either frontline sales or claims or anybody who's eventually using that. So fantastic, nice citations on that. We have one last question, and after that, I would like to give you both 1 minute to talk about, So the next question that we have is on the brokers. How will the role of a broker change with the rising digital business models? Very important question. Thanks to someone who has posted this. Harsh, would you like to answer this question, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think so. Like I mentioned, we are a marketing insurance marketing company. So we sell insurance products, health, life, wealth, annuities, IRAs. I think it again goes back to the consumer preferences and behavior. So it is not like what we need to do to push our agents to sell more or be in front of the customer. It is more about what customers are looking to do. So as we talked about millennials and Gen Zs, they are looking to buy things online. They're looking to interact with their phone. So I think our digital solutions are geared towards that. But there are a lot of people who do not understand health insurance. I've been in insurance industry for a long time. I also get confused about, okay, which health insurance is good for me. So it is sometimes easier, even though I'll do all my research online, but it is just easier for me to call somebody and say, hey, can you tell me out of these three options what best looks best to me? And I will drill down from 100 options to maybe three options, but maybe ask somebody, a broker or an agent or somebody who knows in this, to tell me what works best for me. So it is, I think we as the technologists, we should take it from the perspective of what consumer is looking for. We should strive to meet where consumer are, where they want to meet us. We go in that direction. If they want to do it online, let's do it online. If they don't want any human touch, that's perfect. But there will be scenarios, especially in the complex products, that they want some help, and that is where we need to enable our agents to answer those questions either in person, digitally, or on phone.
Fantastic. Thanks, Harsh, for the insights. I think we're running out of time. Adam, would you like to give any closing remarks?
No, I appreciate having me and being on this. I think these are fantastic questions. It's what all of us are dealing with. So sharing them and sharing our experiences and gaining insights has been great. So I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Harsh, any closing remarks from you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Like, I think we all can conclude by saying that harness the power of data and data science. And thank you for having me on this wonderful talk, Srini. I enjoyed our discussion thoroughly. Special thanks to my team at EVRY, who has, I really appreciate their contributions in our success. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Adam and Harsh, for your valuable time that you have given us. So I have no words to appreciate it. So I know you both are so busy. You're already there in big transformation programs, and your time is extremely important, valuable. So thank you for making it today. And I would like to thank Interactive Group and also Sandesh and Karthik, who have handled this entire program. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for the audience for your patience here. You all take care and have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.